Hi, my name is Zach Sutera, and this is my 321 Puff Rocket Lab. My hypothesis for the lab is that if I add another wing for the plane will fly a greater distance. So first I had to gather the materials that I needed to build the rocket. I then wrapped a piece of paper around a pencil and taped it together, then bent and taped the point at the end of the rocket. Then I measured wings and taped the wings onto the rocket. After that, I put a straw at the opposite end of the bent end for launch. Then I blew into the straw to launch the rocket. I took 4 baseline trials and recorded the results. Then I added 2 more wings and did the same thing. Finally, I found the average for both trials. My first baseline result, the average was 188.25 centimeters throughout the 4 trials. And after I added the 2 more wings, my experimental data results, the average was 231.25 centimeters. So my rocket applied to Newton's first law, because it states that every object continues in a state of rest or in a state of motion in a straight line at a constant speed unless it's compelled to change that state by an unbalanced force acting on it. This is the key for this is inertia. The rocket represents the first law by me blowing into the straw, and the rocket is at rest until I blow into the straw, making it move. It will then keep flying until an outside force is applied. The second law states that acceleration produced by a net force on an object is directly proportional to the net force and is in the same direction as the net force and is inversely proportional to the mass of the object. So the more mass that is on my rocket, the more force that is going to take to move it. If I add more tape or paper to the rocket, it would take more force to blow it further. And finally, the third law states that for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. So this pretty much states that when I blow into the rocket will fly. The rocket pushes on the air and the air pushes back. The two forces are equal in magnitude, but opposite in direction. So finally, I concluded my hypothesis that by adding 2 more wings to my rocket, it flew a greater distance, and that was true. And these are my resources.